NC State absolutely puts the beat down on Carolina. And if you're a Carolina fan, even without Caleb Wilson and Henry Vasar, that team should be embarrassed of itself for what they did tonight in Raleigh. But tons of credit to NC State. I thought Matt Abel had obviously a terrific, fantastic night, career high for him. But those first threes he made after Holloman went out with that ankle injury, he did come back. But those first threes that Abel made, it tore the game open, and that was it. Carolina never stood a chance. And the game plan was simple from NC State. It was attack inside, but it wasn't like what they were doing was going directly at Zayden High and Jaron Stevenson. There was a clear mission by the guards to post up everybody on the perimeter from UNC. And it's crazy because I thought Carolina and Hubert Davis talked so much this offseason about positional size, but tonight, the guards were getting absolutely pummeled inside. D. Will, Kadir were going at it, having a field day against guys like Luka, like Powell even. And I think that was the real shocker to me because if you look at Powell through most of the year, he's been one of Carolina's better defenders. And it was clear from NC State, they thought he just couldn't check their size. And they were right. They got absolutely punished in size. It was men against boys. It was absolutely embarrassing. And what NC State did wouldn't have changed that much if Caleb Wilson and Henry Vasar play that game. So I don't really want to go down the route of, oh, there's an excuse because the two best players for Carolina didn't play. It would have been a difference, but the way State was shooting the basketball and how poorly Carolina was shooting the basketball, North Carolina never stood a chance. State's been better in ACC play than Carolina has up to this point. They were higher in the rankings before Caleb Wilson got hurt. They were going to be higher in the rankings now. It is what it is. NC State is in a better situation. And we have the question here, honestly, which program looks like they're in a better situation for the next 4 or 5 years? I'm tempted to go NC State because I think Will Wade is a tremendous coach. If the resources continue to go there, he's going to be able to do what he needs to. There's NBA talent on that roster. Matt Abel's an NBA talent. And honestly, out of just a fan of college basketball, I hope he comes back next year because he could be one of those players to really take over the ACC. Now, NBA execs are going to absolutely love what he offers, especially from the three-point shot. But he's a fantastic player. NC State has pieces. They're top what? They're top 4 or 5 in the ACC, I believe. They're vying for that double bye, and that's really on the scale for them. Biggest win over Carolina since 1962. I don't care who's in, who's out. That is, if you're a Carolina fan, you've got to be embarrassed by what happened. If it was a 10 to 12 point game throughout the night, or if it was a 9-point loss, okay, then I hear certain guys being out. Okay, 82 to 58. It was an absolute beatdown. And it wasn't, again, Zayden High actually did decent. 13 points on 4 of 6. Jaron Stevenson, 13 points. So your inside presence, your 4 and 5s, led the way for you guys. Seth Trimble, 4 points on 1 of 9 shooting. Dixon, 5 points, 2 of 12. Luka, 9 points, 3 of 8. And the thing with Luka, if he's not catching and shooting, he's traveling or carrying the basketball every single time. And it's crazy that nobody ever calls it. And Carolina goes 5 for 33 from the 3-point line. And that's the final piece to me with this whole thing is I think Carolina went in there to try to play NC State's game, and NC State didn't settle for a ton of threes. They only shot 20, which is 13 less than Carolina. Still a decent amount at 23s, and they went 9 for 20. But there was, again, they were attack, post up, post up, post up. It was clearly personal. It was clearly personal for everybody. And if you've been on this channel, you've seen our Carolina vids. We've said that so many times that I do think that Carolina group is not very tough. They can be extremely soft at times. And the reason why that NC State team was so much more of a threat to them was because you knew there were dogs on the other side of that court. And if you're Carolina or you in a baby blue jersey, nobody out there looked like they wanted anything. I mean, not even Seth, the 4-year senior who should understand what this rivalry means, regardless of Caleb Wilson and Henry Vasar playing, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter who's on the court. You have to go fight. There was no fight, no energy. State basically got every 50-50 ball. And from the jump, they were on Carolina's throat. And it's what happened was what we said could have happened anyways throughout this year. And I get rinsed on this channel for saying NC State's potentially top 4 in the ACC. You need to give them their respect. Everybody's like, no, there's still baby brother. There's still baby brother. Well, baby brother put the absolute beat down on Carolina tonight. And again, it just shows Carolina fans want to argue that it's Duke and Carolina, but realistically, UNC and NC State are the more amicable programs right now as far as comparing one to each other. And it's a testament to NC State. I think it's a great hire to get Wade. It's a perfect fit. He's got guys that are dogs that are going to fight and that will play his style of basketball. And while it was tough early on, go back to the Maui when they really struggled, they're starting to peak at the right time. And they have a massive game now, a week from today, against Virginia that really could solidify them getting into the top 4 of the ACC and getting that double bye. And Carolina will continue to reel. And who knows when Caleb Wilson comes back. But again, what we saw tonight out of UNC, the lack of heart, the lack of hustle, the lack of defensive adjustments. I mean, Hubert didn't do anything. He just stood out there and let whatever go. And so that's who they've been all year. So I'm not shocked by this outcome. 24 is a lot. I mean, I might not have picked that at the very beginning, but realistically, that's who Carolina has been all season long. So if it's not going to change, then and I get every excuse is coming down the track right now of Caleb Wilson and Henry Vasar. I totally get it. And as a Carolina fan, I understand you don't want to go in a game without your 2 best players. But realistically, tonight was about State. They deserved it. They wanted it more. They played hard. They played better. It had nothing to really do with talent at that point. Carolina didn't do anything to withstand saying we even look like we wanted to be there. So kudos to NC State. Again, guys, answer the question, who has the better future right now over the next 4 or 5 years? I genuinely think NC State has a case to say we've got everything we need. And Wade said it at the beginning of the year. We have everything that we need to be one of the best teams in the state, in the conference, and in the country. And he's starting to show it. And the scary thing is he's probably only going to get better. And if I'm a Carolina fan, which I am, and if I'm a Carolina fan, I'm looking at what Wade is doing in year 1 at NC State and looking at what Hubert Davis is now after 5 years. Conversations got to be had. Conversations got to be had because that's not having the troops ready. That's not, we just didn't have enough talent. We didn't have our guys tonight. That was an absolute embarrassing show by North Carolina basketball tonight. Every single one of them. Remember, guys, please hit like, hit subscribe, and your name in the portal. We'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks.